Yo, what is good everybody? Welcome along to a new bass tutorial inside of Serum. This is going to be a D&B bass preset and it's from my latest pack, Viscous. Basically, to celebrate the release of Viscous, I'll be breaking down 4 of my favorite presets from the pack and showing you guys how I made them. So yeah, let's start with this one. It is called Hit the Ground and yeah, I'll show you guys how to make it. Alright, time to begin. First things first, sub oscillator. Leave it as the sine wave, drop down 2 octaves. Os A, also going to leave that as the saw wave as standard, but drop it down 4 octaves. Os B will be up 1 octave and 5 semitones. Why? Because it sounds cool. Yeah, and filter is going to be part of the flanges. FLG HL6 minus. We'll just leave that for Os A. Os B's volume is going to be yeeted because it's purely just a modulation source. A modulation source at this point, which brings me to Os A, classic FM from B, and Os B will be bend plus. That is easy, and the sound should be absolutely beautiful. Don't worry, I'll get a lot better. LFO1 is going to be spread out over a bar, trigger source, and this very unusual kind of shape for it. Around there, and then scoop up to there. It might be a little long actually. Ramp up, ramp down, scoop. Kind of would be sick for skateboarding, to be fair. This is going to be, of course, mapped to FM from B, which should be around here-ish. We'll fine-tune that later. And also map to the cutoff for the filter. Why is it doing both sides? If it does do that, head into the matrix, find your mapping, LFO1, filter cutoff, type one-sided instead of both ways. And there we go, fixed it. Kind of sounding like the sound already. A lot more distortion, mapping, and random shenanigans to get it to sound even better. And 174 BPM would help. There are 2 more mappings for this LFO, but they are on the effects page, and we'll get to the effects soon. So, we'll go on to LFO2. This is also a pretty unconventional shape, but it works wonders. It is 3 random spikes with lots of ramps. This will also be triggered and spread out over a bar to match the other LFO, and this one will go to the sub bass. Sounds a little bit disjointed at the moment, but don't worry, when we chuck in distortion, it is going to sound primo. This will also be going to bend plus, almost all the way as well. And the resonance of the filter. This kind of dictates how much screech and we want for the bass sound, so we can fine tune that later. And lastly, this LFO will also be like this, pretty much nice and easy. And also a bar and triggered. But this will also be mapped to something on the effects page. But yeah, that's the main face done. It is time to actually get into effects now. First up, of course, has to be hyper dimension expander, just a little bit wider. Nothing too crazy. Distortion, love how tube sounds, and just crank that up to maybe close to 3/4. Flanger. I can't believe I'm using flanger on presets. The day has come. Flange rate, kind of decent amount. But it just works with the sound. I hate the flanger so much, but it just works. Anyway, LFO1 will be mapped to the mix of the flanger. So just subtle sparks as it peaks on this LFO. Next up will be a filter. So we'll drag that up. And weirdly, ring modulation. Not the 2 times, just the 1 time. And cutoff down. LFO1's last mapping will be to the cutoff of this ring mod. Very subtle amount. That sounds absolutely weird, but we will do another mapping to this mix. And this mapping will be the very subtle LFO3 shape. Like so. Barely doing anything, but it's just a subtle amount of, I was gonna say juice, but that's the wrong word. Subtle amount of, it's like a garnish. When did this become a cooking show? Cooking up bass lines. And lastly, to get the sound absolutely banging, you know what it has to be. It has to be compressor multiband. Bring up that gain. Actually, the bass is getting killed. And that is fundamentally the sound. Actually, do we go for tweak? Yeah, we'll go for a couple of tweaks. Because Os A is set to -4 octaves and it's just so low, kind of get like a different rate of like a beat frequency or modulation depending which note you use. So you hear the tail end, it's like a shaker if you go for low. It's unusual, but it works really well. Okay, that's all good. I'm just gonna make it worse if I keep tweaking that. And that is how to make the bass preset hit the ground from my new pack, Viscous. Links will be in the description if you want to check out Viscous. Like I said at the start of the video, I'll be doing a bunch more of these to cover my favorite Serum presets I made for the pack. Gonna be a lot of Serum sound design. Stay tuned for more of this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.